How's everybody doing? This is Mo Elrod with another installment of Late Night Early Mornings, and today's topic is sneaker teams. Um, from obviously from the AAU perspective, and there's so many different angles this topic can go. Um, you would if you talk to 10 people, you'll probably have 10 different responses on is there a true benefit? Is it not? Should I play for a sneaker team? Should I not play for one? What are the benefits? What are some of the pros and cons? The whole gambit across the board. You would kind of hear just different perspectives, and I think that's ultimately based on your experience. And so, the first thing I wanted to kind of dive into is a kid that didn't play for a sneaker team here in the Houston area. And man, he just had a great summer. He blew up, and that's Curren Roach. Came off a great high school season. They won a state title, and then he backdoored that with a great summer with the Rock Stars. And this kid played with the Rock Stars for many, many years. So for him, it was more or less about being on a sneaker team and more about playing with his core group of guys. And there were so many debates that were going on because he had such a great summer. Could he have gotten more had he have played with a sneaker team? Right? Could he have gotten the McDonald's? Could he have gotten the Jordan game? Could he have gotten all these different things had he been on that platform? And the real answer is, who knows? I think obviously, his course was his course, and had he had altered his course in any way, you just never can tell if that would have happened. Had he had played with a sneaker team, would those coaches have been able to see him play the point, run a team, obviously score the ball, pass the ball away in which he could defend, the whole 9 yards. Everything would have changed about his course had he not played for that team. So I think for him that worked. And again, who's to say if it was another squad would it have been the same outcome? The kid's going to Texas, so it's his salute to him, man. It's a outlook for him is going to be very, very great. I'm looking forward to seeing him and Isaiah Taylor in the backcourt next year. But aside from that, so the next step for me is, or the way I think about it, my perspective, my point of view is, you got to be talented, right? So if you have the talent to play for a sneaker team, I personally feel that you should make that leap, that opportunity. And obviously you want have to have a good fit, the right group of guys around you. So again, it has to be right, has to feel right. But if you got the talent, good fit, I think, in my estimation, that would be the best move for you because it leads to a whole nother different realm of exposure. So if you look at the top three sneaker brands, Nike has the EYBL League, and then obviously Adidas and Under Armour are both producing some great leagues with the association with Under Armour, and the Adidas Uprise and the Gauntlet is also on the up and up as well. So you have these three prestigious or leagues that these kids are playing on, and if you haven't had a chance to experience it and go check it out, I think you should. It's a true eye opener. For one, the talent level is on another level. It's on another level. Competition. You're actually playing for something. This is not a traditional, Mo High School Hopefuls Classic showcase tournament. This is like some legit stuff that's going on. This is not some third, secondary, type of event. This is high class, and you're going to have talent from across the country. So ultimately, as a competitor, you want to play against the best. And whatever that is, you want to play against the best guys at all times because ultimately you want to see where you match up. And then in those three leagues, it also produces an enormous amount of exposure. So during these live periods, you're going to see head coaches from some of the schools you watch on TV. During the collegiate season. Not only that, you're going to see a lot of writers, guys who analyze the game from a different perspective as far as recruiting is concerned. So you're going to have your Reggie Rankins, your Evan Daniels, your Jim Hicks of the world, your Eric Bosses. You're going to have these guys front and center to be able to watch and evaluate and critique. That again takes you to a whole new level. And then also too, just aside from that and kind of just taking it through some steps, I personally feel that, from an age perspective, when you until you get to high school, like none of this stuff really matters. And again, that's my point of view. You know, 8, 9, 10U, 11U, like that stuff is cute. Kids are learning how to play. They're learning concepts. They're learning how to play the game the right way. But it doesn't really matter if you're playing, with a certain team at that age. Once you get to high school, that clock really starts to tick. And now it becomes, I don't want to say more serious, but yeah, more serious, right? So 8th grade and below, have fun. Once you get to high school, you really want to start positioning yourself to be in the right situation so that you have an opportunity, again, to take that next step to play in college, if that's what you choose to do. And then ultimately, cream will always rise. And that's a cliche, but it's very, very true. And again, Curren Roach can attest to that philosophy. So at the end of the day, I think there's a ton of opportunity when playing for a sneaker team. But even if you're not, there are still great, events that go on throughout the country that you should be able to go to and to still get some of that exposure that you would need. So it's not necessarily the end all be all if you don't play for a sneaker team. It definitely does help. But however, if your organization that you're playing for, is putting you in the right situations, and obviously this is a very much relationship industry. So it's all about who you know, but most importantly, it's how you know them. And I think that once you have an opportunity to play, again in front of the right people, it just gives you ultimately another opportunity, to chance to increase your stock and your status. So that's my 2 cents on sneaker teams, man. Again, under 8th grade, just have fun, man. Just enjoy the ride. Once you get to 9th grade, it becomes a little serious, a little more serious, and obviously as you continue to climb it, it becomes a little bit more and more serious because the competition starts to get a little stiffer. So that's what it is. Until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Sign off. Oh, one last thing. Make sure you follow me, HS Hopefuls on Twitter. Right now it's the playoffs. I'm sorry, it's the finals. And so a lot of back and forth going on the final series. So take care. Peace.